You guys think should I snack on something sweet or something salty?
Something
Salty.
super crunchy, and don't mute your mic.
Sounds like it's going with sunflower seeds. Oh,
Ooh.
apparently the bag was open.
Sounds like you don't have any more sunflower seeds.
Jokes on you! I have a second. Jokes on you! I have a second bag.
There was a second larger bag underneath the first one when you threw those.
And then I have another 3 or 4 bags downstairs. I just snack on it all day while I work because it's a very low calorie option.
Let me know.
This entire bag's 400 calories. Takes me weeks and months to eat it all.
Keeps you satisfied. Let me know when you're all set with the live stream.
We're on, dude.
All right.
Let's do it.
Over here. Earlier today, you each woke with the intent of thwarting the curse that the deceit devil put upon you. You took Wartknuckle, Thimin, and Mundor with you, and headed for the location that Thimin believes you will need to reach in order to alter the magical properties of the mist. Through deceit, Wartknuckle tricked Thimin into bypassing the magical resistances of Mundor's harmonium motor, which caused Mundor to melt and reform into a grotesque infernal portal. Osint anticipated the Barbed Queen's arrival, but when she passed through the portal, she was not only in a weakened Mantiki form, but devoid of any memories. Thimin performed a risky magical intervention, which successfully put the Barbed Woman's infernal nature into stasis. For now, read that sentence wrong. Born of the Thunder had cross words with Osint before Knock Knock's attacked. Together, you fulfilled all of your requisite actions to end the curse, only to find the deceit devil once more, who shared that the curse itself was a deception. Now Killen's dark reflection has dragged a battered Born of the Thunder into the darkness of the jungle. Let's take the audio down just a little bit. You race through the dark foliage in search of your... Oh, Killen. You race through the dark foliage in search of your comrade, but the shadows cling heavy to this place. Your sweat is cold as your heart pounds in panic. But try as you might, you cannot discern any sign of where they took Born of the Thunder. You know that every second counts, but even after a few minutes, you realize that your search proves vain. The creatures that took your ally know this place in ways that you don't. The fact that they took him alive stirs your mind to terror. What dark purpose do they have? What vile things are they planning? Your shaking legs come to a stop as you yell out in frustration. Osint and Luminous. You hear Killen's outburst. He's in the jungle, not far. You have Thimin with you, as well as the Mantiki woman, who only a moment ago fainted, perhaps from exhaustion, perhaps from the shock of all that's happening. Not terribly far from here, Mundor also stands, unable to move with his newly portal-shaped body. A lot has happened in the past few hours, and more so in the past few minutes. Killen, Osint, and Luminous, what do you all do?
Luminous is just chasing after the goat. Actually, I don't know. What kind of creature are you? It's a bad reference if you're not a goat.
Oh, that's just calling him the greatest of all time.
There are so many
Wow.
That's
so
also
many
true.
creatures in this
That's also
world
true.
that he,
That is offensive.
Luminous has thought that he's a goat the entire
This whole time.
He's been like, it's just us and the goat.
No, he meant it in two.
He thought it was
two
a
ways, 'cause
compliment.
Hey, where Luminous is from, it could mean the great warrior. Greatest of all time warriors.
Oh my goodness.
I assume
Greatest
I'm
of all
chasing
trackers.
Exactly.
Greatest of all Titanians.
I assume Illuminous is just chasing Harris's character.
All right. And Luminous, you find him following the outburst and see that he's distraught over what's happening. And it doesn't take you very long. You actually pass by the area that Mundor's at. As he says, "Oh, there goes an... Hold on, mate. No. Okay, never mind." And then you pass by. You go into the jungle and you find him not far.
So is he
I
like
am-
stuck like that forever?
Stuck like who? Oh,
It's Mundor.
Or a
Mundor,
door.
the door.
Is he just Mun
Wait,
door?
add another O to his name. No.
Mun portal. I am literally screaming at the trees.
You're very distraught.
looking to the landscape, to the nature around me, for a hint of where the group just passed by, and hoping that the trees are not as stubborn or stupid as a cave is.
Okay. What do you say to them?
The answer's good. They are.
I
Sup, potato?
ask for help. I beg for help. Help me, trees and land. Where did the group of pharaohs go that passed through here?
Okay. Make a spirit roll to see if you can persuade them to give you this information.
That would be a 6.
Okay. The response you get back is this time something you've had this kind of response before. It's not a voice, it's not a feeling, it's what you perceive as movement directing you in a particular direction. You're seeing the same thing that anybody else might be seeing, like Luminous might be seeing, but it's the way that the wind moves, the way that the leaves move, that you have almost these, you might call them micro expressions of nature that give you an indication that there is a very distinct direction they're pointing toward. And it seems to be, let me check my, whoops, that's not the right thing. I'll give you the direction that I'm thinking of.
It's west.
It is north from your location.
Is that the spider area?
Yes.
Sure is.
Saw that coming.
You also now have your cave camp listed out here, so you know where it is.
Oh, cool.
Now that we know it was a deception, is Killen second guessing and wanting to go after Born of Thunder?
What?
Said now that we know it was a deception, are you changing your mind and wanting to go after Born of Thunder?
Yeah, I'm chasing Born of Thunder down. Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm chasing him down, trying to get him back since I don't have to abandon him.
Are you just going straight away? Just
Yes.
moving right now? Okay.
Yeah.
So killing immediately.
Sorry, I didn't specify that.
That's
I
all right.
assumed that was implied. I apologize.
No worries.
Yes, I am chasing down Born of the Thunder,
All right.
trying to find him.
So while you
Hoping that y'all
start-
follow, but not really expressing that in my current distraught state.
So
Luminous follows.
okay, Luminous, you're going with him.
Luminous is my boy.
Back with Osint, you sort of got the woman has just sort of fallen over, and you sort of caught her on the way down, and she's fainted. And Thimen says, if you would rather me try to get her back to the camp, and we can try to focus our efforts later. It seems like we're not in the timetable that we were anymore. I'm not sure. It seems like they're going on ahead. I could try to get her back to camp. I could see if I can get somebody out here to see if they can do anything about Mundor as well.
Certainly things have changed. Do you think it best to... I was hoping that maybe you would have a way to bring Mundor back to his original form.
I don't know much about transmutation. I just alter, and I inverse magic as a Tamper Mage. I can put things in stasis and I can reverse the way they operate, but I can't turn things back to the way they were.
I got a question outside of the game for a second.
Yeah.
Would this be something Luminous would be able to know at some point as a transmutationist?
You have specified that he has studied transmutation, and that can give you an edge on the way that you would approach this situation, yes.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
I look to Themin and say, can you ensure your own and her safe passage back to the camp?
I've got enough energy left to
without me.
Put more guards up, more arcane shields as I did before if I need to. I don't think any of us can guarantee that we're going to come back at any point, but we've all survived this long.
I would like to help my friends with the one that we left behind. Please take care of her and take care of yourself.
I hope you find him. And for the record, lad, what I said before was true. I know that people make rash decisions, but I think yours was a calculated decision to survive.
We were all deceived, and I hope they see it that way as well.
No, be patient with them. They're going to have to be patient with you. He starts headed back with her, and he's much smaller. Dwarves aren't necessarily small folk, but smaller than the average human, certainly smaller than the average Mentiki, and he's sort of but he seems strong enough to and stout enough to sort of get her under his two arms and start carrying her that way, and he's going back first in the direction of Mundor.
And so, I dashed into the direction of where I saw Luminous last.
All right. So, Killen, you are racing through, and you're really far ahead of your allies. You can move much quicker than they can. And in your desperation, you are booking it forward. As you go, I'd like you to make a mind check to see if you can catch on to a trail of any sort. And I'll assume that you can also still benefit from nature here, so you can roll this with edge.
Oh, that was a 4.
Okay. You continue to rely on the paths that are set before you by nature, mostly. And you are trusting that it's being honest with you because you feel like you have no choice, obviously. But you keep going in this direction, and every once in a while you see things that make you think maybe this is a sign that somebody was dragged through here. But then you also have in your mind, if this thing that was... You saw the knock-knocks dragging the Born of Thunder away. But if this thing gets a hold of him, it supposedly is going to be as fast as you, being your mirror image. So that's something that is also in your mind. No. Luminous.
How does my mirror image also have my jewelry?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
I don't
Luminous.
Like that.
Luminous, as you are running forward, he is far, far ahead of you, and you are not making good strides to get ahead. He's so far ahead of you that you're not even necessarily sure you are going in the right direction. But you can also make a mind roll to see if you can get some indicator that you're going the right way.
I'm going to roll another one.
Uh-huh.
I got a 6.
Okay. You find little indicators with hoof prints and whatnot, and just the right sort of very moist ground out here in the jungle that you know that you must be going in the right direction. And then, Osint, you following behind, somewhat have the benefit of not being slowed down by too many things in the path because you can just fly right over them. And So you are making good time, and you actually kind of, as a result of this, catch up to Luminous's area. And it's not too long before you sort of beeline toward Luminous, and you two are together. Do you interact at all as you continue to dash?
Do you see which direction he went?
He went that way. I think, based off these patterns of hooves. I'm at least 7% positive.
7% is more than I am, so let us make haste. He may not be thinking rationally, trying to save his friend.
I don't think he is.
Dylan, you are rushing through. You know this is the direction. And suddenly there's sort of an opening up ahead where the jungle seems to split off into some sort of open meadow. As you go forward, you realize that you are about to go over the edge of a cliff into water if you don't slow down. So I need you to make a body roll.
What?
All right. You skid to a halt several feet before you go over this ravine. And as you get there, you see that across the way, something is moving. It's maybe about 80 feet away, and the ravine is somewhat at a higher elevation. There is this sort of long...
So they're higher up than me on the other side?
Yes. You see this long, grasping sort of ivy bridge that is slowly dissipating and returning back to the upper part. And up at the top, you see a bunch of knock-knocks dragging this thing as the reflection seems to have been anticipating you, and it's just looking back up from the top of this ravine as this ivy bridge that obviously came as a result of its ivy ring is disappearing and going back to his location. As you...
This is the mirror thing, is that
Yes,
said?
yeah, it's your reflection. And as it knock-knocks that it has with it go further away from it, it just stops and looks at you, and it's standing still. What do you do?
I aim my longbow at it.
As you grab your longbow, it does the same.
Afraid that might happen.
What if you put the longbow down?
So I have a question,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I'm going to find this out in the game. Maybe you'll tell me. I don't know. Does this thing have all of my abilities in real time? Or does this thing have all of my abilities as it did when I went into the mirror?
You wouldn't know.
All right. Fine.
It certainly looks different now than it was described to you before.
Also,
So in the picture, so when it was described to you before by your allies, it looked exactly like you. But now in the picture that I sent you guys, it is a very dark representation. It has sort of the thorns of its ivy armor that it wears just like you wear kind of look like it sort of grafted into its skin, and it's got little protrusions in its skin. It has just a sort of gaunt face that's clinging to very angular features. Even the shape slightly of its antlers and horns are different than yours. The general appearance is very similar. Its silhouette is similar to yours, but it looks like it's changed.
We kill him. Can I have the versions that you had of it?
It's
Whatever
in...
devices you have.
What was that?
I was asking. He's like, if we kill this thing, I assume it has like the different abilities that
and you guys
Harris's character has. such as like the thing that gives him extra health after every turn or
Oh, I
stuff like
gotcha.
that. Like it has to have a carbon copy of it.
As you are staring up at this thing, your allies end up right behind you. So you all three are in the same place now, looking up at this ravine that's about 80 feet high.
Do we need to roll a body check to not fall?
No, you guys see him ahead of time.
Okay, good.
I also was moving at like Mach 3, so
Yes.
Fair enough.
I am going to regret this, but I'm going to use Sharpshooter.
Fancy. I haven't heard you say that.
It's my new power from the level up.
You know, I almost picked that one too myself at one point.
So I can shoot at this thing without rolling penalty.
Yeah, as a result of great distance, yeah.
And I don't have to roll a 6 to hit it.
Correct. So basically, at the distance, let me use Pythagorean's theorem in my head for a second.
What?
Yeah, so it'd be greater than 60 feet anyway. So yeah, okay, yep. You'll roll normally for this distance, even though normally for most people it would be at penalty.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you said he's like 80 feet from me, right?
Yeah.
The ravine is about 80 feet. You said
it's like 80 feet up from yours, so there's sort of a greater distance, but you can, with your feature, you can attempt to shoot it from here.
Something hypotenuse.
Yeah, Pythagorean's theorem.
Sine, cosine, tangent, and all that junk. I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't read the book.
B square.
All right. That would be a 6.
Okay.
Nice.
So give me just a moment
to also not roll with penalty.
This thing, as you fire, it in the same moments that you're doing this, fires back towards you. And it looks like its arrow is attempting to intersect your arrow as it fires at the same time. But yours misses its arrow, goes right towards this thing, and hits it in the cheek. As its arrow lands just in a tree behind you, but like passes by centimeters past your ear. And
whoosh.
It
well, he has my ability that I have.
It reaches up, grabs its face, and tears the arrow out.
That 6 does an extra damage too.
Good point. Yeah, reaches up, grabs its face, tears the arrow out. Like black blood spews out of this thing. And then it just sort of puts its hand up. And it doesn't stop looking calm. It looks like it was completely fine with that happening. But as it looks out at you, you hear it speak. And it says, "It was definitely better than I thought you were gonna do." So, what's the deal here? Are we gonna talk? Or are you just gonna try to shoot me again?
Hang on, sorry, I'm looking something up.
Is it worth killing your version of yourself? Google does not have an answer for that.
Looking up changelings on the internet.
Yeah, sorry. Bring Tyrannus back and we'll talk.
Tyrannus. That's right. Yeah, do you remember the longhouse when you guys had to shovel all that filth because of the getting into the mead and Princess Smells Like Rain? I remember that. I remember that really well. And my favorite part of it was the fact that in all of that, you guys were just laughing the whole time. It's one of the most beautiful memories I've ever received. I really loved it. I want you to know that. I can tell it means a lot to you. That's kind of the most important part to me, to be honest. Because I do need something that is worth sacrificing to make sure that my goals are met. And technically, it is something I care about in a really kind of backwards, profound way. I love it. This could not have worked out better, to be honest. We all have to give up things we love to get what we need. And that's just the nature of the place.
I scream again. Like I have no words at this point.
Listen, I know this is a lot to take in. You escaped one of my planes. Well done. Didn't expect it, but I had to change change the way I operate. The very nature of this place requires you to think about how you're willing to change your game plan. You should think about that, really. Like, I don't want to see you suffer, because, I mean, why would I? I'm you, practically. But understand, we're all playing a game here. And all of us gotta want to win, but one of us gets to. And that's my plan. I'm sure in time you're gonna understand.
You know how wild this would be.
I use the ivy ring and I rebuild the bridge.
Alright, you put your hand down on the ground and the bridge starts going back up towards his area just as he did. It moves across and is starting to rebuild. Yeah, I thought that might happen. And he holds his hand up and yours sort of stops midway across as he's holding his ivy ring up. Here's the thing. We have some influence over everything about each other at the moment. But I've been doing it a lot longer than you have. I need these stupid little things that went on behind me to get our mutual friend to a place where I can trade for something that I need. I don't plan on your friend dying necessarily. That's not up to me. That's up to who's getting him. I have no idea what their plan is, but they have something I need, and I'm gonna get it. So you leave me to my devices after that. Have free reign. Go save your friend. Do whatever you need. But I need him at the moment. And you've had an entire lifetime with him. So, I mean, fair is fair.
I'm just slack jawed right now. I hear the other two have come up behind me, and I look back at them in just confusion.
Is it worth trying to reason? I'm kind of whispering to where this guy can't hear us. Is it worth trying to reason with this creature, or should we do our best to stop him?
I'm all for stopping him. I just don't know how to get to him right now. I can't do anything, it seems. I look back at the I'm not even sure what to call this thing.
The dark
evil
dark
you
killing.
Mirrored evil.
Yeah, I look back at evil me.
EQ.
And I say,
evil killing.
If we're all playing a game, then what's the game?
How do you
know,
win?
Tell
I
me the
have-
rules and I'll
I have an
play.
invested interest in you not knowing the rules as well as I do, but surely you've seen that you. I mean, consider where we are. You guys really don't seem to know a lot. In fact, I know exactly how much you knew by the time that I took over, more or less. And even then, it wasn't a lot. You had a lot of clues over time. Here, how about this? I'll tell you a little bit about the game. If we can make a Fey Pact.
Can we do a huddle before we discuss this with him? Because I don't like the idea of a Fey Pact with this demon thing.
I mean, I'm not a fan of the situation either.
I was gonna ask, can we get in a little huddle real quick?
Yeah.
Like, just imagine we're gonna huddle together.
Y'all are standing
Can he-
next to me. You can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah,
Well, I don't want him to hear.
he's very far away. He's likely
Okay.
not. Gonna
Assuming
be
he
able to
can't just already hear what I hear.
Yeah, you also don't
Assuming,
know that.
yes.
Well, he said he only knows up to what you knew
It's true.
when he took over your form.
Fair, but he also
he
has
s-
the powers that I have at my level.
That's true.
Question: if say with like your ring, if somebody else has the ring, can he stop us from using the ring?
That's a very good question.
But he
Actually,
did just stop Killen's ring from fully functioning.
He said he stopped killing. He didn't say he stopped the ring.
Killen, you didn't get the sense that he was like controlling you in any particular way. It does seem like he was
Okay.
doing something with
probably because he
the
has another ivy ring and he's like controlling the ivy at the same time.
All right. What other abilities do we have to get us up there?
What did you want to huddle
Well,
about?
I don't want to make a pact with this thing because I don't like where it's going to end up. So I'm trying to think of other ideas before.
I am all for other ideas. I just want to get up there.
I agree, but I also don't want to,
It'd be fantastic if one of us could fly.
Oh, wait, one of us can.
I asked what you wanted
Don't
to
forget
do.
what your grandfather said. You need to breathe, be calm, and think.
Oh, I hate that you know that.
This is when I wish I would have had the ability to use lightning transportation and then move us all the way up there instantaneously. And
Yeah,
do
Born of
damage to
Thunder
them.
could do that.
Yeah, I could have done that, but I chose not to not use that one for my current pick. Yeah, that was a
Listen,
mistake.
we can
Immediately
make a
coulda
Fey
used it.
Pact. I'm offering the Fey Pact because I, long term, want to have the assurance that we don't have to harm each other in ways that we don't want to. I've been very moved by everything that I've learned. The Fey Pact is for our mutual benefit. We don't harm each other. I don't personally harm our friend.
This is giving me real Old Testament vibes. Making a deal with someone we don't know, and then turns out
What's
that's who
the
we're supposed to be
catch?
fighting the entire time.
We mutually agree that we will not harm each other, and I'll even include the other two of you in this. All four of us. We don't harm each other at risk of receiving the very same harm. I want to add, I don't harm our friend.
But you're not going to stop him from getting hurt.
Well, I can't affect other people's games. I don't
No
harm our
deal.
friend. Well, tell me how you would
You
alter
don't.
it.
You don't stop other people from harming my friend, but you're gonna stop other people from harming you. This is my pact and your pact. If this goes through, it doesn't include them.
Yeah, that's the thing. You could just decide that they're gonna hurt me on your behalf by proxy, and
I can't participate. I can't hinder other people's games.
oh, I see. So you're telling
I'm a
me that...
I'm a free thinker, so
Yeah, that's what I've gathered. Your thoughts are quite free. All right. Well, we can make it a little more beneficial for the two of us, we keep what I said, and I actively ensure that your friend won't be killed.
There are fates worse than death.
You said it.
Were you not just
No deal.
telling us that's the reason that you took Born of the Thunder was as a sacrifice for something you needed?
Sacrifice was a strong word. All of us have to make friends. Sometimes the friends we have are enough to make sure that other people won't act in untoward ways if we say that they shouldn't. Obviously, I've made friends. Look who I've got working for me. I guess they're in the jungle now, but...
I say quietly to Osant and Luminous, no deal. None at all. He's not offering anything that he already said would happen, that once Born of the Thunder is out of his hands, he has no control over the situation. And he's only offering a deal because he knows we can hurt him without it. There's no deal.
I'm in favor of hurting him.
I mean, me too. Nothing destroys my face like that and gets to live.
What if I give you the reflections of your friends that you brought out of the mirror to do with as you want, to make sure they don't...
Oh no. Not a reflection of the good boy.
Because you had quite a bit of them, and I know where they are.
Well, there's a bad Themin and a bad...
Mac?
All of those people.
Not Mac.
And a bad Mac.
It's not very
Hellhound?
often that my playthings escape. And when it does happen, they create things like me, not entirely like me, but similar to me. I am one part of many, but we're not like the hive mind kind of thing, like the Scree. We're kind of independent agents, and we get to stay out here, so it's kind of a benefit. There's benefits to you staying in and dying. There's benefits to you coming out. It's just the way that I played my cards to make sure that could happen when I became this. So, I know where they are. I can influence them to
I don't
go where I
want
need them to go. Well, not for your purposes, but for your security, you might.
Yeah. Boys, you think we've handled worse?
I can kind of tell that Killen is done negotiating with this thing. So I'm going to try to end the conversation by literally just flying up to him if I can and attacking.
Okay. You begin flying, clearly on an assault path, and as he sees this, Killen's bridge continues to grow because whatever this thing was concentrated on, he's changing his concentration.
I'm gonna run on the. Can I run on the bridge?
All right, you're just running up as it's continuing.
Yes.
All right, you're running before it's even stopped.
Hey,
Killen,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Killen, what are you doing?
Woo, what?
War cry.
This
He's cracking a cold one and running.
This thing's face is no longer like content and smiling. It looks like it's actually annoyed now.
That's okay.
So you guys
It's okay, I'm annoyed too.
You guys start running forward, and Osint is flying forward, and you guys tell me who's attacking first and who's doing what.
I'm assuming I get there first.
Yeah, if we're running on a bridge, it's still developing.
Yeah, you can go ahead and attack Osint.
So I'm flying at him kind of with, and I'm going to swing my scythe as I reach him.
If y'all decapitate this thing and my head flies off, we're gonna have a problem.
Well, I'm only doing this because when his face got cut, nothing happened to you.
That's fair. That's fair.
I've thought about this. I did not mean to roll a d20. Sorry, hold on.
Will a 19 work?
What did I do? Hold on.
Extra death.
Okay, here we go. Alright, that's a 5.
Alright, yeah. So, did you say you're throwing the scythe at him?
Well, it depends. Can I get to him? Because if not, I'm just gonna make.
You can get to him.
Okay, yeah. I'll have it in my hand still. I'm not throwing it. I'm just kind of using my momentum to hit him with the scythe.
You go up and scythe him right in the side as he tries to move. He's moving very quickly, but you and your momentum catch him, and you go ahead and do a point of damage to him. And what's your other? I'll go ahead and say you have enough action left to use your other action.
I'm gonna just turn my body and hit him with my tail, which would be the toxic strike. Wait, is that with my tail?
Yeah,
Sure, it is. And it's a 3.
Okay, so the 3 catches into his armor and doesn't quite penetrate his armor.
Okay, his armor is now poisoned.
As your tail gets there and sort of sticks in for a moment. And give me just a moment to look at something. Okay. Yep. All right. Okay. And who's next?
I can
I
go.
think Luminous is in front of me on the bridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him with a magma blast.
You are running. The bridge is still developing. So you go ahead and tell me what this looks like. By the way,
I would imagine that I'm running. Actually, how much is left of this bridge before I shoot him with a magma blast?
It's like maybe 30 feet left that hasn't been done.
Well, I was gonna say I was gonna teleport up there, but I can only go 15 feet for teleporting. So I guess I stop with like 30 feet to go, and I try to shoot him with a magma blast. Like it's uphill. It's just like maybe like a pose, and then like a hand reach out, and it's just like lava like forms, and it just goes right at him.
All right, so both hands spin, and then like this ball of magma.
Yeah. It's somewhere between firebending and earthbending for sure.
Nice. All right, and go ahead and make your roll.
I got a 1.
All right. And
that's not great. I'm about to fall to my death.
So this thing goes past, and this is the first time you've done this, so it just sort of out into the jungle.
Slide whistle sound.
That's so unfortunate.
And what do you do with your other action?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him with another magma blast and see if I can do better.
Okay.
It can't get much worse than that. I got a 5.
Okay. This
happens to the best of us. Try again.
This time it hits him full force, and he he takes 2 damage based on this. You remember you've used 2 powers at this point to do that.
Yep. And I want
does 2 damage.
And I want him
it's a power. So it's more powerful.
Yeah. Okay. I also want him to become dazed.
And you're choosing dazed. Okay.
Yeah, I can either choose dazed or injured, but he's dazed until the end of his next turn, so he can't really do much without penalty.
Very good. All right, let me just check on something real quick.
All right, that's enough power pool for me for this battle, probably.
Is that all your power pool?
I got 1 left.
All right. So remember, power pool resets after battles, so
it's
okay to use them all if you want.
Fair point. I forgot that. Maybe that's why I never use any of my powers.
So
we're gonna be honest.
He can only take 1 action during his turn, as he's dazed right now. All right, and then as you sort of finish that, the bridge continues to build just a little bit more, so it's like 20 feet from the top.
So the bridge is not done yet?
Not completely, but it's 20 feet away, and that is
and you can jump really far.
You can jump that.
I use
Volley.
pinning strike.
Oh, I was really hoping for
Okay.
volley.
Okay, nice. So you're running up as close enough to be able to make this attack using pinning strike. Gotcha. Okay.
It was a 2.
All right. You miss with this one. Do you want to attempt it again?
Yes.
All right.
6.
Okay. So not only do you get a little extra speed boost, he cannot move until the end of his next turn either. As you shoot this arrow at an angle where, as he's near the tree line right behind him, it goes into his ankle and into a tree right there, where it's pinning him to the tree. And I'll let you know that that was a very wise thing to do based on what he was going to do next. All right. So
Figure if he can move like me, it's good to pin him down.
So this thing, as your tail, Osint, has come around and sort of stuck and is coming back out of his armor, it just reaches out and
My tail reaches out? Or
I'm sorry, the creature reaches out, and it looks like he's attempting. He has all these spikes all over him with this armor that's like the spiked armor that Killen has been wearing, and he's basically trying to embrace you and spike
would you call that a melee attack?
This is a melee attack.
All right,
I
so
would
I'm
call it
gonna
a hug.
aggressive bear hug. So I'm gonna use my strike catcher reaction.
Okay.
You're gonna court your
So he needs to re-roll the attack.
Okay, let me do the first roll. Okay.
That does not hit.
Yeah. So do you want to use this if he's re-rolling?
What?
If his first attack, his attempt did not hit, do you want to use strike catcher? Because you only have one reaction on a turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said it already hit.
No, sorry. He was attempting to, but it missed.
I gotcha. Well, then I wouldn't need to use that.
Okay. he's doing his second attempt, which again would not hit. He's having a hard time right now. And let me just check.
He just had his ankle pinned to a tree. He better be having a hard time.
He messed with the wrong group.
All right. And
You don't steal this beautiful face and live to tell about it.
All right.
And he made it ugly too.
Actually, he would have only been able to make one attack anyway. So his first one missed regardless. So and now his dazed and pin are removed, but he basically wasted his turn as a result of what you guys did. So now you guys, in whatever order you like, what do you want to do?
I'll go first.
All right.
How's the bridge looking? How's the bridge looking?
It completes.
So I assume I'm up there now. I was going to use my power temporal shift, where enemies' characters' movement speed is reduced by half, and they can only use one action during their turn, and they cannot use reactions.
Nice.
Nice.
And that's both of my my actions.
You real quick, tell me where Luminous sort of learned how to do this. I know it's something that he got in time, but what was the basis? Where did he learn this?
I would say he learned it. He learned the very, very basics of it in like a magic school, thinking like Harry Potter style.
Okay,
but
so
then
part of the academic studies would have included magical sort of electives.
Yes,
Bogwarts.
Yes, but then on his own, he learned how to do it in a much more powerful and useful way.
Okay.
With him wanting to do everything his own way, of course.
So you trace this invisible sigil that's sort of hourglass shaped, and take your hands apart and switch them over, and all of a sudden this rippling effect of energy goes out across this immediate area and only affects the creature, the reflection, as it immediately starts to slow down, and you can see it, and all of you are still moving at normal speed.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
But I was going to say, for you who don't know, the other option is I double your speed and you get 1 extra action per turn.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a versatile one.
Yes.
Okay. So in this case, you chose to slow the enemy. Okay,
and they can't use a reaction now.
So no reaction. It's slowed.
No reaction. Very good. All right, and let's see. Was that both of your actions to do that?
Yep. Yeah, it takes 2 actions.
Very good. And okay, Osen and Killen.
I'm gonna antler smash it.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do.
Well, you can do it too, buddy. We can both antler smash it. That's a 4.
Nice. Okay.
Is that hit? Okay.
Yep.
And then, is it the same size as me?
Tell me about that. It is.
Okay,
yes.
then it's knocked prone.
Okay. You guys are decimating this thing.
And then I'm gonna, as it falls to the ground, I'm gonna swing my scythe again and do a bloodthirst strike.
Okay.
That's a 4.
This poor guy. Actually, no, it's not. Forget him.
That'll hit.
Screw this
All right,
guy.
and then I'm gonna use my reaction, which I can use. Oh wait, can I use this?
You haven't used a reaction this round
okay,
yet.
then I'm gonna use my command presence reaction and give Killen another attack, a simple attack.
Nice. So Killen, you may immediately make a simple attack.
Oh, cool.
Ranged or melee.
I say kick him while he's down.
Shoot him with another pinning strike.
Okay. So a simple attack is just a standard attack that has no special functionality.
Gotcha. So then I shoot him with a bow.
But it's not even your turn yet, so basically you'll get your turn too. So you, while he's down, you shoot, so go ahead and roll.
6.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you want to shoot him?
In the face.
All right. So
because he stole mine.
In exactly the same cheek. this thing goes...
Other cheek.
Oh, other cheek.
Other cheek.
He turns the other
Give
cheek.
him a matching scar on that side.
And it goes through, and it sort of... You see the way that his head tilts to the side. It goes through, and it kind of embeds into a neck bone. So his head is sort of cocked to the side as this thing's there, and he's not dead, but he's obviously in pain from that, as you've done more damage to him. And
now you get 2 more actions.
And then it's your turn. So now it's your turn.
Oh, my turn now?
Yep. And he's on the ground.
Guys, remind me to use that every time we're in combat, because it gives us literally another attack.
That was phenomenal.
He's prone, which means that if you make melee attacks against him, they are rolled with edge.
I'm going to trample him.
All right.
If this attack hits a prone target, the target takes an extra damage.
Okay.
And you roll with edge.
And then he's dazed until the end of his next turn.
This guy really made us mad.
No deal.
No deal. Immediately kills him.
5.
Okay. You smash this thing's face in. You basically curb stomp this guy, and you trample him to the point that it's just like his head's not even really together anymore. It's just there's bile and blood and everything, but half of his face is still there, and his eyes are just very wide. He's darting them around, and his mouth is sort of like halfway there still with his tongue out and everything. And you guys realize that you've just finished this guy off, but he just sort of sputters out, as you can tell he's dying, and says,
"It's too late. While we were talking, they would have made the trade by now. I really did like these memories."
And his light fades from his eyes as you smash it down again. And this guy is dead. So,
did we take any damage?
I don't think you did.
Nice.
You all get 2 experience points.
Boo.
Great battle, guys. That was.
It's about time you felt like you were winning something. So
We just rolled that guy.
Jumped down anything's throat this time.
We straight up rolled him.
You really did. He didn't. It's really good
I don't
that
think
you
he got
pinned
a
him.
single shot off.
He didn't. And when you pinned him, his thing, he was going to try to basically bear hug Osint and then like pin his wings down and
he's got
throw
the
himself
40
over
armor.
the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was going to try to throw them both over into
That's
the
okay. I have a
ravine.
plan for when things like that happen.
Oh, I can teleport, kid.
Don't tell him. He's gonna.
Oh, I figured. But he doesn't necessarily. He doesn't know. Just like you didn't know that Osint can teleport. He wasn't there for that.
That's
knowledge.
true. That's true.
All right. So is this
You can teleport.
this thing
See ya.
sort of bleeds out a little, and then its body just sort of puffs into glass dust. And it's just a pile of dust then. Its equipment also does the same.
Sorry, Luminous.
Why are you sorry? Sorry.
Its special equipment also
Yeah,
dissipates into
special
dust.
equipment is dust now.
It's all right. I was mostly joking.
I
I don't know
also
why we need. I don't know why we need 2 of those rings.
also very cool magma.
Thanks. I taught it to myself. We're still working on it,
The
but
second
Osint
one.
say cool?
The
I didn't
second
think
one
he
was
used
also
that.
very cool.
Yep.
Or should I say hot? It was very hot.
I see what you did there.
Osint used slang and a joke.
I guess you guys are rubbing off on me.
Good job, Zaddy.
He still doesn't get that. It is pronounced
No.
Osint.
Luminous just looks at you, Killian, and just agrees and goes, "Zaddy."
Osint. Osint.
Zaddy.
And
I shake my head and we should go find your friend.
Let's
I was-
go.
Our
I
friend.
was gonna bring this up real quick. I saw today, Magic Johnson, the basketball player, was talking about something.
That sounds like a
And-
wizard to me. I don't know.
Yes, but no. The reason I
Did
bring
he
this
play
up,
the Orlando Magic though?
no, he paid for the Lakers. But he made a comment earlier today or yesterday, and he just said like a normal phrase. He goes, "Pun not intended," but there was no pun. So it's just he doesn't know what a pun is.
I didn't know he was still relevant anyway.
I didn't know he was still alive.
That's fair.
I mean, he's magic.
Yeah,
I thought he had Magic Johnson disease.
This is what he said. The Knicks' magical run comes to an end today. No pun intended.
Sorry, I'm killing
I mean,
a
like,
bug.
dude-
Oh, it is a pun though because his name
It is a
magic.
pun because his name is Magic.
So it's
There.
you who are slow.
How embarrassing!
It is.
Kyle.
It is so embarrassing.
Wait, I didn't even hear the
I'm-
pun. What was it?
His name is Magic, and well, what did he
The
say?
quote was, "They came to a magical end" or something like.
Oh,
Their magical run came to an end. And he's like, no pun intended.
got him.
Yeah, you got me there. I didn't take into account his name being Magic. That's on me.
All right, what do you guys do?
So I'm still in a hurry, but winning a battle clearly gave me like a morale boost. Like I'm in my element
It's
right
kind of
now.
the first battle you guys have won without some disastrous thing happening as a result, in some way.
We're really coming into our
I'm
own.
feeling like in my element right now, so I'm pumped up and I'm ready to continue following the wind toward Born with the Thunder.
No, Yep.
Luminous is doing handstand push-ups in excitement for not dying.
it's quite a different immediate different feeling here. All right, so you continue. You haven't
Osint
broken your
flexes his wings a
concentration.
little bit.
You haven't broken your concentration with nature here, but you already get the sense that this part up above the ravine is a little bit different.
Are we in a new hexagon by any chance?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you guys are basically on the border of the northern.
Of the spider area?
Yeah.
I've never been to the spider area.
No,
What's it like?
These characters haven't.
Well, I was going to ask them, because I wasn't even a part of it yet whenever you guys went over here to the spiders.
We lost someone in a very gruesome way in this area. Or the other people did.
Oh. Man, they must...
Did we lose a mercenary? Oh, we lost that one chick who was trying to help us out.
Yeah.
From, she was from the... Was she from the church?
She was from the Witchblades.
Oh, that's okay then.
We ain't even associated.
She was nice though.
I had a wild thought.
She knew who Belle was, didn't she? That's who she was.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a wild thought earlier. It's like, imagine that we went through this entire campaign just for it to be in Killian's mind in a dream.
Like that one show from the 90s or 80s.
It would be more like Luminous's dream, and he's like still in school and he's getting high and
is just he's on acid.
Yeah, he's
tripping out.
Luminous is very sober-minded.
Oh, that's good. Good to know.
So, his parents raised him to not do the drugs, as they said.
Do the drugs.
He signed the dare pledge.
Not even one of the drugs.
The killing you
on purpose at least.
You have a new area that you'd have to recommunicate with this area to try to see if it can guide you. Are you trying to do that here?
Okay. I ask again. I heard that the evil version of me called these things the Scree.
So
is that
he did mention the Scree. He did mention the Scree, but you would know he was just talking about a well-known humanoid species of insect people. He was basically saying they're not like a hive mind like those things.
Oh, I thought he was pointing back toward the knock who were with him. Sorry.
No worries.
So
he did call them. He did call them. Basically, say they were idiots, though.
Yeah. So I again communicate with the land and say, where did the group of we call these things feral fae at one point, correct? So, where did the group of feral fae that came this way go? Which way? What direction? Guide me, oh nature.
Roll this one with penalty.
Dadgummit. Give me 2 6s. Dadgummit. That'd be a 3.
You...
Can I re-roll that with a spirit point?
Yeah, you can try. Yeah. I'll get your power pulled back, by the way.
Yeah.
That was the exact same roll. Alright.
Wow.
You...
Oh, wait, hold on. Penalty. That means we're using the lowest. That would be a 1.
Okay. You
receive 1 and
back...
3 both times.
You receive back the knowledge that it's hearing you.
Mm-hmm. But
it seems that it doesn't really seem like it has any incentive to speak. And you feel like a shiver this time when you get the knowledge that message received, but it's just sort of this cold.
Is it in any way
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
The like the lethargic feeling that I got around the tree?
Not quite the same. Not quite the same. This time it's more of a just it's almost like the knowledge that your presence has now been noted and there is no answer, but it's almost like the jungle is now more actively aware of you.
Gotcha.
I was just gonna make a comment.
Do I get any sense that that's a good thing or a bad thing? Like, is it angry that I'm there? Or...
It's difficult to tell because nature, in many times, is very indifferent to certain kinds of things that are in it. because it knows it will outlive such things.
Would this be considered an elemental character?
No. This is a elemental character would generally be referring to like one of the four major elements of sort of fire, earth, water, air kind of thing. This is the landscape, which does incorporate some of those, but the not really an elemental spirit, so to speak.
Gotcha. Just wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I thought Jackson was leaving. He's clearly right there still.
Yeah.
Well, Killian, I have no use on this matter. Cannot assist.
I'm obviously frustrated. I'm gonna look around for any sense of a trail or
you can use a mind check.
Some kind of tracking. I don't have a tracking power, so I don't want to say it like that, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Let me 5.
Okay. You find an area where it does seem like there are some trampled spaces where it looks like something has been dragged through. It throws you off a little bit because it doesn't necessarily seem, based on your check, that something right in the area you were at was dragged straight away, like straight ahead. It looks like it's a bit of a winding path, and you're not sure if it is an indicator that Born of Thunder was dragged this way, or if something else at some point recently was dragged.
You say kind of a winding path.
Yes.
It doesn't look like one of those giant snakes went this way or something like that.
It kind of has an undulating like pattern, but if it were, it would be a pretty large snake.
That wasn't a no.
That wasn't a no, and we've seen some fairly large snakes. Are we still like where we were when we fought the thing? We haven't moved at all, right?
Right.
So they didn't like make the trade right here. They would have had to go farther.
Yeah, he mentioned that they had gone on without him.
Yeah.
He said that they would have made the trade by now.
Yeah, I was contemplating the possibility of them having traded Born of the Thunder to a giant snake in this spot, but we would have seen all that happen.
Right.
We're also in the spider area.
That's true. I just don't trust these things to necessarily stay.
If using my knowledge of what we've seen to this point, my guess would be the trade would be to Dom Ita, or however you pronounce it, the person that's in charge of this area.
So that is just an indicator of who died there.
Oh.
Amicia.
Well, I know, but my guess would be is like whoever's over this area. I can't remember her name.
So you know that the entire Marywood, which is basically all the jungle you guys have seen so far, is in control of somebody that is either called Grammy Grins or Granny Grims.
Yeah, my guess would be the trades with her. That would be my thought.
It's a good thought.
I couldn't remember her name. That's why I said the name that was on the screen.
Yeah, I kind of forgot all about her in general.
We know
and there's also in the smiling is it leopard? No, lion.
There's a
panther.
That you
Grinning
guys
panther.
remember.
There's the rose
Man, there is
lady.
so much more that we have already dived into.
Yeah. The rose lady was pretty familiar with like how to find Granny Grims, I think.
Yeah, she was over at the gallows tree.
Which, yeah, that's pretty far. So, although
we can go to Crossroads,
and again,
go to
these
Crossroads.
characters are only vaguely aware that there are spiders here.
Right.
We just know somebody died here. Pretty
Well,
close.
it looks like the path is going that way. Do either of you see anything that would indicate something otherwise?
Yeah, I look around for like any trace that maybe Born of Thunder maybe like tried to leave us a clue or.
Yeah, likewise.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are able to go ahead and roll mind checks for
That'd be a
assist with
6.
Okay. And Luminous, let me know what you rolled.
I got a 3, so I know I saw nothing.
You, with your 6, Oxen, you determine that there are at least 2 possible paths. That 2 different things definitely happened, and they both look like things were dragged. Which one is which is the question. You can make another mind roll to see if you... But you definitely know that there's some confusion here, and you can separate the 2 paths as you examine them.
That's a 4.
Since Osip pointed this out to us, can we all roll a mind and see if maybe we have a good suggestion, or is it no, just because he's the one that discovered it?
Since you guys, you can assist, just in the way this will look, will be Osint rolling to see if he gets any higher than the 4. It's basically rolling with edge.
Okay.
It's an assisted roll.
Big money. Nah, it was
3.
no use.
Can you describe the 2 drag marks?
Yeah, you with your knowledge and everything, you don't know that you could really tell any huge difference between the 2. They both look like they were dragged with footprints or like foot indentions, just like heels that you can see on both sections. They don't look the same, but it's hard to tell what are like footprints, what are boot prints, based on like your knowledge and your survival skills and your rolls. But it looks like if you were to tell one difference at all, the closest you can get is that both of these paths had many people dragging something heavy. And actually with your role and the nature of this, without you guys being necessarily like druidic or ranger type individuals, you feel like you're kind of at the point that you just have to pick a direction, and your choices are right or left functionally.
Which one is right and which one is left?
The right one's on the right and the left is on the left.
No, I mean, so you described the first one as kind of a winding pattern.
Yeah.
Did the other one have that same kind of winding pattern, or is it more
they
dragging straight?
They
or is there any...
No, that's a good question. I'll say that the one on the left is also winding, but not nearly as much. And as you look around, it looks like some of the windiness might be because of sort of like knots in the ground of like roots sticking out and things like that, or just natural elevation shifts. But the one on the left is less windy for sure.
So the one on the left is the second one that Osen saw, and the one on the right is the one that I saw?
Yes.
Okay. I think maybe we should go on the left. That's what my gut's saying.
Okay, that's what my gut was saying too.
Alright. Luminous, do you have any guts?
No.
Alright.
Did you roll if you had an opinion or not, and then you were going to roll again for what that opinion was?
If I was...
Yeah, if it was a good roll, I was going to roll again to see if it was a worthy comment or not, but it was a 1, so no. It was not worthy at all.
Alright, we're going left.
Okay. You guys go through the jungle. Start winding your way through, following this path. There are a few times that you feel like you might be losing it. You have to take a little time to look around again. With the assistance of all 3 of you, you're able to sort of get to it again and find the way. Some ground is like broken rocky boulders and things like that will occasionally happen, and they disrupt the space. But after about 30 minutes of doing this process and trying to make sure that you have the path, you come to an area that seems to just be a very still, placid little pond that has a small little inlet connected to a very small stream, and it continues on. So there is this spot where everything seems to just stop, and you cannot see anywhere that the trail changes here because the ground becomes very hard and not moist at all as it has been. This is a bit strange in your experience, based on the fact that usually the closer you get to water, there's going to be a little bit more moisture. It seems like something different is happening here.
Well, I don't like that.
I walk to the edge of the water and see if I notice anything else beside the extremely unnaturally hard ground next to the water.
Yeah, you sort of, your boots crunch across this, and you get to the edge, and you realize this doesn't look like a natural reservoir of any kind. It looks like this ground is hard and almost serving as like a receptacle to this water instead of just something that naturally occurred here. It's got a moving part through it that continues through a small little stream, but as you examine that, it's the stream going into it definitely flows in. It's not causing the water to expand or grow or anything. The water is still very still, oddly so, and the one going out of it is just stuck there. So somehow this water is going in, not disturbing the water whatsoever. The stream is going in, not disturbing the water, and the little outlet is just as undisturbed. And as you examine this is definitely strange.
Would it be dumb to put my face in the water and see if I can see what's under the water?
I'll let you decide.
I'm asking. I wasn't asking you.
Roll
I was
for
asking,
dumbness.
Roll for dumbness. I know I'm putting this on here because I don't really care what happens. I think it's gonna. We got a 6. He's not putting his head in the water. That's the first time I've ever rolled a good number on this thing.
While he is inspecting the water, I am again looking around for any kind of trace of Born of the Thunder or the group that carried him.
I'll resolve Osen's attempt first to sort of examine if there's anything else. You said you were trying to just see what specifically?
You talking to me or?
Yeah, Osen.
Yeah, I was just trying to examine why it was so hard, and I kind of communicate to them that it looks like this seems to be an unnatural formation, almost as if someone is transporting the water for some other purpose or machinery or something of the sort. There's inlets and outlets, but the water doesn't seem to move whatsoever. And I point out the whatever machinery it is that you described.
And as you say that, Harris, I'll let you resolve your role. You were trying to determine what exactly?
I was continuing to look for some kind of trail for the field. That was a 5.
Okay. You look around and you have a good roll, and you know you're being pretty thorough here, but you simply do not see any other indicator except the trail that came in.
What if this pond serves as a disguise for some sort of entry? What other reason would there be to have a artificial pond?
Luminous jumps in head first.
Okay. So, Luminous doing a head first, huh?
I want to. I'd like to imagine.
My eyes just get really big.
That the camera, per se, is on Osint while he's talking, and it's over the shoulder of Killen, and then in the background you see Luminous jump as Osint is explaining what's happening. You just see in the background a splash.
So
From here on out, this game is an office-style mockumentary of a fantasy adventure.
Osen does this at the camera.
What happened? We just know that Luminous heard what Osen was saying, and he let his intrusive thoughts win, and jumped in.
So Luminous deciding that if this is going to be some sort of thing that's just hiding something else, let's see what it is. You jump in. There is no splash. You phase through an illusion, and
breaks your neck on the ground,
and you begin falling.
Oh gosh!
So you go down, and it's dark in here. And do you want to do anything as you plummet?
Is it too late? Is it too late to, like, as soon as I realize it's not water, to use my teleporting ability and go back to the top and try to get out?
You know how fast falling 15 feet goes?
I mean, can I roll to see if I have a chance?
You can roll to see if you realize.
So actually, what happens? Hold on.
Look what I rolled.
You did.
We're over the shoulder of Killen, looking at Osen, but we don't hear a splash. So Osen does not know what happens, and we just see Killen's eyes get wide, and then we see Luminous reappear.
You immediately go in. You just reappear by Osen, who does not know you just did this.
And I'm still explaining that it might be some sort of passage.
Saying, that's a pit, bro.
Yeah, that's a safe assumption, my guy.
Maybe one of us should test it.
I did. Did you not just see me jump?
Jump.
You did what?
You don't know.
I heard no
describe
splash.
Jumping head first. You dove.
You dove.
And a millisecond before breaking your neck on the ground, teleported back out.
Please explain what you mean.
Yeah, so you were saying it could be a portal, and my intrusive thoughts took over. And so I was like, let's go. Let's see if it's just right or not. As soon as I get through, it got pitch black. It was not water. And I teleported back here because I'm like, that probably looks like death. And so here I am.
I guess that proves the theory. How do we get down safely?
Maybe jumping with our feet instead of our faces.
So I have rope in my bag.
I can float down.
Isn't that far?
Well, you went 15 feet.
Yeah.
I was saying that, like, that's how far you got because you have 15 feet of teleportation. You didn't see how deep this is.
No, I don't know how far it is.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood.
Can I roll? I have some rope. Can I roll to see how much rope I have?
I mean, you would still have like 60 feet of rope from the original that you guys had. It's also tied into the shape of being able to lower a centaur-sized person down.
It's true.
Hit the person.
Hey, Killian, I got an idea.
We have an idea you're gonna love.
You are not lowering me into a dark pit.
What if Osen goes with you and flies down?
How about Osen just fly down anyways and tell us what
I
he sees?
was going to suggest that, but no one's been listening to my ideas. Except for Luminous when he jumped head first.
This is when you're gonna cut to Luminous going over to the side, and they're looking, and he's interviewing by himself, and goes, "Yeah, I heard Osen the entire time. I just like messing with Killian."
And in the background,
we're kind of in a hurry.
You just see me floating through as I descend the pit.
I am about to trade Luminous to whatever has Born of the Thunder.
So you
even after I run with you, try to catch him.
You're currently actively wasting my time.
Hey, I was doing this as Osen was already going down.
To Osen, you go down. You flap, going down. You are going into darkness. You do see sort of a light near the bottom, and by the time you get to the bottom, you realize that this is probably an 80-foot drop. And
I definitely would have died, 100%.
And you get to the bottom, and the ground is kind of slick here because the tiny little bit of water that was up at the top does come down into a drizzle on it, and it feeds into this area. But there's somewhat of a small cave system ahead, and there is a little it's like a campfire, but instead of actually being a fire with a glow on it, it's some sort of red crystal gemstone that's like the size of your head that is there, and there's a little grate over it with a skillet, like a cast iron skillet on top that is being heated up by it somehow. And in a bedroll here, there is a guy that he's asleep. He's definitely an elf with very fair skin, and I'm going to put his image in the reference sheet. Let's see. This is the main reference sheet. I'll put him next to the Barbed Queen question mark.
Don't forget to make sure the reflection's dead now.
What's that?
The reflection's dead now, so we need to make him gray.
Yep. Alright. This is the guy you see. Sleeping.
He looks like he's up to trouble. You should mind control him.
And at his side, so he's got these like little pointy shoes that look like they're all sewn out of leaves. Everything he's wearing looks like it's sewn out of leaves and things. And he's kind of not really snoring, but he's sleeping loudly. And he's got both of his hands on his belly, and his head's back, and it's just sort of, his mouth is open, like an old man sleeping.
I'm gonna carefully and quietly look around and see if there's a way to descend into this area without flying or falling.
Yeah, you could just walk right into this cave that you're around, but it's you're looking up.
Yeah, from above.
It's very slick sides. It looks like it's unusually cylindrical. Like this thing was perhaps magically made. And there's not really any footholds or handholds.
So we took the wrong path. Do I wake this guy? Or do I get out of here?
Well, you have 18 seconds in real life to decide before Luminous rolls the dice to determine what he's about to do.
I haven't come up in 30 seconds, so Luminous is about to jump again.
He's not gonna jump. He's not gonna jump.
I stop rolling dice. I quietly kneel next to the crystal.
You feel some heat emanating from it.
Okay, and I
very comfortable level of heat.
I speak softly at first, and I just say, "Hello?"
There's no response.
I get closer to the old elf man. Hello?
And he gets up and like very awkwardly fumbles around and grabs a very rusty cutlass from his side and sort of points it at you, and he's like trying to do a dramatic pose, and then just oh my back, stay back.
I stay knelt down, and I kind of put my hands up and say, "I mean you no harm. I believe I ended up here by mistake. Is this your home?"
Who's asking?
My name is Osins. I'm an advisor.
Did they send you?
Did who send me?
You know who.
I do not know
All the more.
of whom you're speaking of. I'm merely happened upon this place.
Begins. K.
What?
You're not gonna trick me. Not gonna trick me this time. I know they sent you. They were supposed to pay up and they didn't. And they sent you because they got it all backwards. I took that dust fair and square because it was owed to me. It's all been a big mismatch. I know that you must be one of their enforcers.
I assure you, I'm not here to enforce or to harm you in any way. Again, I happened upon this place accidentally. We were looking for someone.
Who's with you?
Two other comrades of mine that unable to reach the bottom of this pit. Did you make the enchantment on the top?
None of your business.
It's very impressive.
Back up, all the way back, the way you entered, and I'm gonna see you and your friends up at the top.
He sort of fumbles. He doesn't look away from you, but he grabs a backpack next to him and pulls something out that you recognize. It's got and holds it under his arm. It looks like the cloud orb that it's very similar. It's a slightly different design, but it looks like that.
Okay.
That Luminous has.
He says, back up, all the way.
Where did you get that?
I'm the one doing the questioning here.
I stand up and kind of...
Don't you dare do it or I'll blow us all up.
Hey, what's going on down there?
You told me to back up. I'm just trying to do what your wishes are. And I
back up all the way. And we're gonna ascend real slowly and nicely up to the top. And I'm gonna see you and all your little buggers with you. I know what you really are. I know you can't harm me. Not here.
I just kind of go along with what he's telling me to do because I'm not interested in hurting this old man.
Yeah.
But I am interested in what he has.
He backs you all the way up, and he just briefly looks away for just a moment and kind of hits a few specific places on this orb.
I'd like to roll to see if I can know the pattern he did.
Okay, so to make sure that you have a good understanding of it, yeah, so just do a mind roll to see if you're perceptive enough to remember it.
Got a 3.
Okay, you think you know most of the pattern. You're paying close attention here.
Okay.
Do you want to re-roll that to see if you can have more certainty? This is a mind roll.
Yeah, actually I do.
Okay.
Dang it.
Ooh. How deep was this pit? How far long?
80 feet.
80 feet. Okay. I remember most of it, I guess.
All right.
Osen's been gone a few minutes, and so I kind of yelled
dip your head
down.
in.
If you guys...
Yeah. I have been
yelling. If we can hear you guys... If we can hear you guys, then you would be able to hear him probably. He's not being quiet.
You kind of hear very muffled sounds, but for you, it actually...
As we're...
Because you guys are up above the water, you just sort of hear the sound of... It's odd, because it sounds like water just getting more intense, and then it slows down, and then there's nothing, and then all of a sudden it's like the sound of intense water, and then it's nothing.
Okay, so they can't hear
Zaddy, are
words.
you okay?
Osen.
Zaddy?
I try to yell, "We're coming back up."
You guys just hear this strange, like... And then
but I wouldn't know that, so...
But as you sort of begin your ascent, he does this, and the orb glows a little bit, and he starts floating up off the ground, still holding his cutlass. And
is he holding me too, or
no? He's you.
Am I flying with him?
Yeah, he could see you have wings, and you.
Okay,
and
all right.
He's like, and he's sort of trusting you to fly up at the moment.
Yeah.
All right, come on up, like he said.
And out you two up to the top suddenly see that through this illusory surface, Osint comes out, and this very strange-looking elf man, very old man, ends up on the side holding one of these cloud stones, like you found, Luminous, under his arm. It's glowing. Lands down on the ground nearby, and the stone stops glowing. He's still holding this very rusty cutlass out, and
Well, that's
looking
not
around
what
at
I
all of you.
expected you to find.
Looks around at all of you.
Ah, yeah. I know your tricks. Show your true faces.
I
Luminous
worked
looks
very
at-
hard to make sure that this is the one and only true face of mine.
Luminous looks at Osint and wonders if this dude's just crazy or not. Maybe off in the distance, like, this is my face. Not gonna have any other face.
Well, now I know your faces. So, I gotcha. These faces you wear for now. I know your tricks. I know your tricks. Listen, you tell her.
Who's her?
You know who her is.
You tell her.
I don't though. That's the problem. Who's her?
Young man, I'm trying to speak to you, if you even are a young man.
I am, but I don't know who her is, and I can't give a message to someone if I don't know who her is.
You tell your little sovereign ruler that I
Mom?
took...
Talking about my mom?
I don't know the dynamics of your clan. That I took only what I needed, what was promised to me based on the services rendered. And then you thought that it was too much. You thought that it belongs to your people, that I'm culturally appropriating, whatever that means, by using your dust. No. No. It was mine. I needed it. I did what I had to do to survive out here. This is my place. I belong here. I was one of the first. And then she came along, and all the other things came along, ruined it for everyone.
We're not trying to take anything from you, sir. We're lost and seeking someone completely different. We are interested in how you got that orb, but aside from that, we have no problem with you, where you are, or what you have.
Can you teach me how to use it?
First off, I want Killen to make a basically a persuasion roll with spirit, and you can do this with edge.
Big money.
6.
Okay.
Well, you might be who you say you are, but you're gonna have to prove it to me. One of you... Let's see. You. Jin. Let me feel your hand. Need to see if it's solid.
He first taps it with his cutlass, and there's definitely a resistance there, and then he reaches out and touches it with his own feeble fingers, and
You're not illusions.
you're real.
Can you teach me how to use that thing?
I
Luminous,
will not
we
be
have
teaching you anything
more
about my
important
equipment.
things to deal with right now.
But I don't think
You're not-
this guy knows anything about.
You'd be surprised at
Thunder.
the things I know, whippersnapper.
Do you know Born of Thunder?
Is that a place?
We are tracking a group of those feral fae who took a friend of ours. We're trying to get him back. We think they came this way a short
kind?
time ago.
What kind of feral fae?
The smiley
Ones
kind.
that say knock knock and try and enter your homes.
I know what you're talking about. If they They didn't just kill this fellow.
We're under the impression they were going to trade him to somebody else. But we don't know who that is or where they were going.
So Granny must have allied herself with somebody who was using them. Those things belong to Granny. So somebody must be on her good side.
Do you know which way we should go to find these?
The only reason they'd keep anything like that alive is what everybody does here. It's to trade. Even though some things decide that they're going to back out on the deals of the trade as they're conducted much later in life. Well past the point that anything should even matter anymore. I took what I took because I had to. Listen, I know how to know what you're after. But I'm not going to help you for free. Consequently...
What's your price?
I need fairy dust.
Don't have any on me, but I can give it to you if I find it.
I'm going to tell you where you can find it. But they aren't going to give it up easily. There's a clan of pixies that have decided I'm their enemy, even though I had a real good thing going with one of their best rogues for a long time. Best locksmith I ever worked with. I'm not on good terms with her or her clan anymore. But I need that dust. They can produce it. Nigh at will. But they're loath to give it up, especially to me now. I need it in ways that they don't. If you get me that, I know of things and ways to get you the information you want, and quickly.
I believe time is of the essence in our pursuit right now. Would you be open to us getting the dust after we find what we're looking for?
You can make a persuasion roll again. It would just be a normal one.
6. Man, I'm rolling good.
I need some kind of insurance, something you need to return for.
What kind of collateral would you like?
What do you have on you? Needs to be magical.
I give him my tobacco pipe, which used to be, I explained that this was the pipe of my great-grandfather's. He was...
I don't care about your family history, boy. What does it do?
It is made from the wood of a fallen tree titan.
Right, and what does it do?
It has healing properties. It will clear the mind and renew the energy.
I don't need spiritual ailment healing. I need things for my body. Give me something else. That is just a pipe as far as I see it. Show me what one of your things does. Leave that as collateral.
I pull out the purple crystal shard that I have, and I say, I don't know how familiar you are with the crystals on this island, but I know that this came from a much different part. I noticed your makeshift campfire down below. Would you be interested in a crystal of perhaps different magical properties?
If I needed Shroudstone, I'd gather it myself.
What kind of thing are you interested in? You seem to be a little picky.
Like I told you, something magical. You seem to be covered in equipment that could be used for such purposes.
I have 2 potions of rest.
Potions. Hold on. Potions. He just a minute. He looks into his pocket and he pulls something out. Doesn't really show you guys what it is. Looks at it, considers, puts it back in, and says, "You got any more? More than 2? How many do you have?"
I have 2 as well.
4 potions then. I'll take those. Potions of rest. His hands are kind of twitching as he gets more excited here.
All right. Here they are. Here's mine.
Okay. He just put him down on the ground in front of me here. He draws a line in the sand with it. You put him here and then you back up. All right. There's only 2 things that anyone would come to this area to trade with. One is the spinster. It's deeper into the webbed areas. And the other, I don't know what to call him. Don't know if he has a proper name here yet. I just call him the scientist. I can show you on your map what either one of those are.
Do you know what use either would have for a trade of a humanoid being?
What's the thing that you... What's the nature of this person?
Yeah, what is he?
Hang on a second.
He's a
He is
Zephylos.
Yeah, Zephylos.
It might help narrow down if we know what use the Zephylos would be to either of those.
He also has electric powers.
Well, that might be the clue you need then. The scientist works with electricity, I do know that. Uses it for, I think it was described as batteries used to operate things.
I show him on the map the direction that we came from and the path we took to where we are now, and ask which one of those people would we have taken this path to get to.
So, based on that and the very small amount of section of the map that would actually take up, it's kind of hard to determine that with that.
Okay.
But
I didn't know if like the other one would have been along that other trail to the right that we did.
Yeah. Well, he does tell you that if you want to go deeper into the spider's web area, the spinster is there, but and he describes further on a little bit eastward of here. You'll actually be passing by the area that I need you to pass by, which is where the pixies are. Beyond the pixies, there's a watery cave area. It's behind a waterfall, and I'm fairly certain that the scientist does his work beyond there. It's not terribly far from here. It's
Hold on. He goes down. He sort of approaches one of the potion bottles and immediately. Okay. And he tosses that bottle to the ground. Continues to hold up his cutlass.
Hold on. I thought we were giving you things we could come back for. This was collateral, not payment.
Right, yeah. I'll put something back in it. I gotta think clearly. I gotta do what I gotta do. But if you want me to think even more clearly, you need to bring me back fairy dust as soon as you can.
There's a tweak in Peter Pan. You know?
What do you need the dust for?
Never mind my needs.
He does look like his AI
I was waiting for that.
Like an old tweaking Peter Pan.
Alright. So on the way to this waterfall, where the scientist resides...
Don't trust a single thing those pixies say.
Where will we find the pixies on this path?
They'll find you if they want to be found.
Well...
But if you're looking for them specifically, and you happen to be able to sneak up on them somehow, look for their hives. They're like wasps. Disgusting. Paper hives. Awful.
What is your... Have you had any experience with the scientist? Is there something we should look out for?
Those experiments, I don't think he aligns with most people. He just trades. He's very neutral. The only experiment I know that he's done, something to do with shrinking. That's all I know.
Well, I think we should probably get going. They've got a pretty large head start on us now.
We thank you for your information and your help, and we hope to return with what you need as well.
Yeah. Well, you hurry back. And you know how to find me if you need to. Just do what you did before. Just go on down. Call out ahead of time. Let me know you're coming down.
What should we call to you?
What is your name?
Heron Potts.
Did you make that up on the spot, or did you think of that when you made the character?
I made it a long time ago. Why was it funny?
Nothing. It's a good name. I like it a lot. Thank you, Potts, for the information. We shall return.
You do that. Tell you what, if you bring me the fairy dust before you even get back, then I will tell you how to use this thing. As I see now, it's on your back, tied to your pack. You have one, but only if you bring me back what I need. I'll tell you how to use the Cloudstone.
Be very interested to not only know how to use it, but how you obtained it. If you know anything of the Cloud Giants.
Any more information I give you, it's going to be after you bring me what I need.
Just prepping you with what information we like. And I go ahead and turn and leave.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. So he goes back and he watches you as you guys depart into the the jungle, and he
never grow up.
Clicks some things on this, and it glows, and he jumps backwards and slowly descends back through this illusory surface.
And we're walking.
All right, I think both of them left for a moment.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd just start walking. We can all walk together. Make up some time.
You guys have met a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have just killed this dude, but I really wanted to know what was up with him. And he's a tweaking Peter Pan, that's all I know. That had to grow up.
Yep.
Lost his fairy dust.
Has had a previous working relationship with pixies.
Man.
You hit the nail on the head, Kyle, when you said tweaking Peter Pan. Tweaking Perrin Potts.
It's such a specific set of words.
He looks like one. He looks like an older version of him. He's like on drugs.
I think that was the idea.
Yep. Man, I had like a form of just like tiredness, just like hit me.
Just the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll when Maris gets back, we can slow
listen,
down.
Listen to this. So Maddie had a presentation today, and yesterday she was like, "I'm gonna do it today." I'm like, "Sounds good," and she didn't do it at all. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" You said you're gonna have to do it today because you won't have enough time to do it in the morning or during work tomorrow. And she goes, "Yeah," and it ended up being a little bit of an argument. And I fell asleep about 11 o'clock. She slept for 2 hours last night and did the entire presentation, and it went to work today.
Goodness.
And I'm like, and then like literally until we got on, she was still awake, and I'm like, how are you functioning right now? I had like 9 hours of sleep.
Superpowers.
Dude, apparently I had 9 hours of sleep, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah. There was a guy at college that I don't even remember who exactly this was. It might have been it wasn't Smelter. It was some guy that looked like Smelter, but he his whole thing was do tomorrow. Like if something's due tomorrow, just do it tomorrow. And I heard him say that at least twice. And I don't know how he functions. I don't know where he is. Anyway,
Probably doing it tomorrow.
He's still procrastinating.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys go into the direction.
Hey Jackson.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I saw your TikTok the other day, and I just wanted to say shout out to Jeff.
Oh yeah. Jeff.
That's a wild story.
Yeah.
As you guys walk into the woods and the jungle again, going back in the direction you're supposed to go, one of the things you notice is that it is becoming a little darker at this point in the day now. So just keep that in mind. And
we're gonna die.
What do you guys have? You guys know the path you've been set on. He's given you some instructions of just which direction to walk, basically. Do you guys talk or do anything in particular as you're going?
I'm just looking for fairy hives.
Can Luminous think about the whatchamacallit?
The orb? Can he ponder the orb?
Ponder the orb.
No, the like the little crossword puzzle thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can as you're pondering the tablet, you can make a guess as to any letter that might be in the thing, and if it's there, I'll let you know. You guys are welcome to help.
The real question is it a letter we've already used?
So,
well, I feel like just translating in general, we should be able to recognize letters that we've already used, correct?
So, the problem is that it's not like the way that you translate language isn't always just like letter to letter kinds of things. Sometimes there are specific, like depending on the language, if it's like Mandarin or something, it's going to be a very different experience. And we're sort of assuming those kinds of rules with this translation here.
Hang on.
It's got to have a vowel in it.
I will tell you that all of you guessed very specific letters, but you had other things that were just like guesses of words. All of the letters in this word are currently on the board. which is most letters.
I mean, I'm with Jackson. It's got to have a vowel. So,
but these letters, you know, it can't be the STLREU.
AIO.
Is there
or Y?
Is there a repeating letter in this word?
If you were to find out, it would be as a result of guessing it.
AIO or Y. You got a 25% chance of getting a letter in that word.
I don't think it's gonna be O.
I think it's I.
Yeah, I was thinking I or A. Let's go with I.
No.
Dang it.
Ah.
All right.
It's not the word I was thinking then.
As you continue on, you spend a lot of time in your brain power trying to do this, but you get no closer with the tablet today.
Well, that's depressing.
So, we're going to wind down soon, but is there anything else you guys want to do specifically? I know you're all actively sort of looking for these hives that were described.
Anything else? Singularly just focused on getting one from today.
All right. Okay. So you all continue on for quite a while, and night does fall, and it's so dark out here. You haven't actually been out at night very often, but it's already pretty dark in the daytime. It is extremely dark out here at night. You can see a few feet in front of you, and things just get... the atmosphere is different. It gets somehow quieter than the eerie quiet that's already there. There's more of a chill in the air. The few insects that you occasionally hear, those sounds dissipate altogether. And even the sounds you think you do hear, you're not sure if it's true or if it's your mind playing tricks on you. And it becomes very difficult to even determine whether you are actively going in the exact direction that you think you're going. You're fairly sure you are, but you second guess yourself sometimes. And while you guys are moving through here, you all can make a mind roll, all with penalty, each of you.
Go to 2.
4.
Yeah, 1.
All right.
Y'all remember last time what happened when I failed a mind roll, right?
We die.
You...
No, a shadow person was born.
No.
And another one is born.
A star was born. Nelson, you hear essentially a branch crack at ground level, like somebody stepped on something.
Like in front of us.
Kind of out to the side and on the right.
I turn in that direction and try to perceive if anyone's trying to hide from us.
You look out, and you can go ahead and, again with penalty, make this attempt.
Actually, if I use my perceptive traits,
okay,
I don't roll with penalty for darkness.
Very good. So
that's a 6.
You actually have sort of adaptive capabilities with cat-like eyes, and look a little closer, and you rolled a 6.
Yep.
All right. You look out exactly in the area that you know that must have happened, but you don't see anything at first. And then as you're staring, you're sort of concentrating, trying to see if there's any other kind of movement whatsoever. What just looked like another tree behind a tree for just a moment kind of just moves a little bit, whatever kind of shadows were naturally out here at play, one just moves very quietly to the side.
How far away is it?
You think it was probably about 15 feet away.
Very close. I use my cloak and I teleport behind whatever it was that moved.
Okay, so you...
And I would still be hidden once I appeared where I appear.
Okay. You teleport to that spot, and you are enshrouded in shadow, hidden in that place. And just next to you, hiding behind a different tree, is something like a person. It's a very tall, lanky, sort of humanoid type individual, but they're unusually skinny. And there's sort of a dark shroud covering them, as if magically. They've got dragonfly type wings out of the back. They are the size, like about your height, and staring out toward everyone else. They have some somewhat elfish features, pointed ears, braided sort of tribalish hair, but there's sort of this wavering quality to the shadows about them that seem off to you. And but they aren't looking toward you. They're looking toward the rest of your group, and they just have their hands on the tree and they're just observing. And they're wearing sort of leather scrapped bits in that, upon closer inspection, look like they're actually made from like very large bug pieces.
Okay.
So the other two of you saw that Osen just sort of looked that way and then disappeared.
I I grapple them.
Okay. You make an attempt to grapple, which means just a moment. Let's look at the basic rules real quick. Yeah, so basically you make an attack roll that doesn't do damage.
Okay.
I need you to roll it one more time as part of penalty. There's a reason for this penalty. Okay. You try to grab this person, and your hands just sort of go through air, but consequently, you grab something very small, very tiny, like the size of a mouse. And it is this person, much smaller than they looked, as this illusion dissipates off of them, and they look up at you. And the other thing that's different about their appearance now is that looked like a perfectly normal, fleshy, warm skin toned person. This individual in your hand looks up at you. It's a pixie, certainly a pixie, but its eyes are almost completely white. Its face is gaunt and sticking closely to its skin. It has a legitimate look of surprise, and it's got little pieces of rotting flesh off of its bones.
Oh.
And this is an undead pixie that stares up at you and sort of just squeaks a little bit as you grapple it, squeezing it there, and stares at you and doesn't react. and in any other way than to look at you very cautiously.
I just say, I'm not trying to hurt it or anything, I just am holding it and say, what are you looking for, little one?
What are you looking for?
I think I just found it.
What do you mean?
Well, we're on our way to a waterfall, but also looking for a little bit of dust. Do not panic. Please think happy thoughts. Think of a wonderful thought. Any happy little thought.
You're working for pots?
This game took such a weird turn tonight.
Not so much working for him, but he has information I need.
Right, so if you're not in Potts' bed, maybe we can talk.
We're talking now.
You know
I haven't
where he
hurt
is?
you.
You know where he is?
I might. What grudge do you have against him?
He stole something valuable.
What would
Something
that be?
my people need. I think you already know. You already talked to him. He's looking for fairy dust.
He seems addicted to the things, the dust.
You could call it that. Sometimes addictions come about for reasons that aren't totally let me rephrase that. Sometimes addictions come about because the person's in true need. But Potts went too far. He's crooked.
Do you know what he uses
Just
it
won't
for?
grow up.
He's trying to stay young. He's trying to return. He's never gonna have enough to get what he wants. But my people need this, because we can't make it anymore. We only have so much, and we're using it for our own purposes right now.
So you have none to spare, but you need
We barely have enough for
what
what
he
we're doing.
has.
No, I guarantee you he doesn't have anything left. He uses it as soon as he gets it.
But he has something that you need.
You could say that.
Seems like we're at sort of a impasse here. He has information we need. He needs what you have. You're not willing to give it up. He has something you need as well.
Jose, where did you go?
I teleport suddenly back in front of them.
Whoa, whoa. And this
Bro.
thing looks up at all of you, and you see the white of its eyes, just this ghoul of a pixie.
Me and my friend here were just discussing fairy dust, pixie dust.
Zaddy, I always love how easily you make friends.
I look at the pixie and I say, Osint is my name. They do not seem to know how to pronounce it.
We're just a couple of lost boys looking for another lost boy.
Hold on.
What?
So, Ocean. Okay. Hold on, give me 1 second. My name's Butterbell.
Butterbell, what can we do to help you? To help us?
It's not gonna be easy. But if you make an ally with my clan, Could be well worth your while. Potts has gone too far. He's got to die. We
We're not
need
hitmen.
We need. It's not for vengeance. It's because there's no other way, and we need what's inside of him.
Something that the dust is helping suppress.
Fairy dust is not quite. Fairy dust just it's one of the most magical things on any reality's plane. Fairy dust becomes him, if you know what I mean.
Everyone we've met today has tried to make a deal with us. And yet,
Yeah, it's the nature of this place.
we've got very little in return. The first that tried to make a deal ended up under the hoof of my friend here. We have bigger problems than a quarrel between you and some old man.
I don't know how Luminous feels, but I actually don't care if I get those potions back all that much. If it was the pipe, I would have cared, but he chose wrong.
Well, it's good to have allies out here, and if you guys think you're such good allies, maybe you should talk to my queen.
Can I ask you an unrelated question?
I don't think I'm in a position to resist any questions.
Did you see anybody taking a electric Cephalus through here within the last few hours?
Well, seeing as how you want to know that information and I have, I think we can help each other.
I squeeze a little tighter.
And I know that you're probably wanting to get that done pretty quickly, seeing as how you're out here at night. I'm not gonna ask you to do anything before you get anything in return. But I can guide you. I can guide you to where I know that whoever that is, whatever you want with them, friend, ally, somebody you want to kill yourself, somebody you want to save, doesn't matter to me. I can guide you right to that area and show you what I can if you agree not to kill me, for one.
I've got no reason to kill you.
Yeah, well, the grip says a little bit otherwise. And
play nice.
And you're willing to come back and at least hear my people out.
We make no promises.
If we get my friend back alive, I'll listen. I don't speak for these two, though.
We can make no promise of action, but I will hear you out as much as you want. We have little information on the quarrel that you have between your people and Potts. We have a mission we must complete, and after that, we can hear what you have to say and make a decision.
Fair enough. He looks over at Luminous. You must be one of the quiet types, huh?
Been a long day for me.
Well, you're all brave enough to be out here, or stupid enough to be out here at night?
The answer is yes.
Depends on which one of us you're talking about.
No, we're all stupid for being out here.
I can help you get where you're going without you being so obvious. I heard you coming well away from here.
Let's talk about you, Killian.
Probably. The hooves aren't quiet.
All right, let me take you to where you need to go. We'll figure this out, and then I'll stick with you and bring you back to my people, and we'll see if we might have some mutually aligned interests.
I let go of her, or him.
This one's a boy. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I get cracked. Feel my ribs. And he says, and he reaches in and like just pulls one and snaps one off because he's not really using it anymore. All right, well, wasn't really useful.
Ribs?
Yeah, this thing is it's an undead pixie. Don't.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Well, let's get going then. Okay, so we're gonna stop right there. You guys met Butterbell the pixie, and we will.
You got a picture of him?
Not yet,
okay.
But I will. We'll go ahead and.
Correction, we caught Butterbill the pixie.
Yeah. And you're advancing to this, so you can each go ahead and get 10 XP each.
Just over halfway there. Whoa.
All right.
Halfway living on a prayer. He's very tired.
What'd you say? Dude, I'm so...
Kyle he hit the wall.
Dude, I hit a wall when you left, and I've been, like, fighting for my life over here.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for playing, guys. We'll continue from here. Good job completely massacring the reflection.
That was fun.
It was what had to be done.
It's nice to win one every once in a while.
Facts.
All right.
Good times.
See y'all.
See you guys.
See you, bud.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.